Vivekananda says very clearly, we cannot see outside what we are not inside. Now, this is a very deep thing to understand. It is very Vedic in nature, it is very Vedantic in nature. It reflects the highest truths of the Upanishads. That we are simply looking at a mirror. What we are is what we'll see. The world is our own projection. It is the eyes you look at the world that determines your entire attitude towards it, your entire way of functioning within it. This is the reality of life. And this is what we need to fundamentally understand. It is the very seed of meditativeness in life, meditativeness at work, bringing a quality of what you might call the eye of wisdom, the eye of the Rishi, the eye of the Buddha. That it is the observer who is being able to watch this entirety of existence. And we all have this observer, this mystic observer, this ultimate witness within ourselves. But our way of looking must be very clear. If we look with clarity, we are able to live with clarity. We are able to work with clarity. Ultimately, there is no good, there is no bad in the Vedantic sense. It is all a question of perception. Look clearly. Define your vision. It is all about your vision. And Vivekananda is very relevant because he talks about vision. And vision really is the key to everything in life. It is the key to leadership. It is the key to relationships. It is the key to work. What is our vision towards work? What is our drishti towards work? What is our attitude towards our human relationships? It's very easy to find fault in others. But the person of wisdom looks with an eye that is creative, an eye that is sensitive, an eye that believes in love, empathy, compassion, and so on. And so doing, something sacred, something fulfilling is born within us also. So this way of looking at the world creates an objective effect even within us. It creates a certain focus. It creates a certain way where we can look at things wisely, where we can look at things with totality, free of any neurosis, free of any conditioning. So the main thing is to look at things without conditioning. Then the intensity of our energy becomes profound, and we are able to transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. What is the Rishi's vision? What is the Buddha's vision? It is simply that their vision has been transformed. The world is the same, but their inner vision has been transformed. So it's all about vision transformation. That is the very crux of the Upanishads themselves. It is all about perception. If your perception is right, everything is going right. And Gautam Buddha also used right perception as one of the very pillars of his teachings. And in the old Hindu tradition, this question of perception, this question of vision is really said to be the most defining factor when it comes to human transformation. When it comes to finding splendor and fulfillment in all that we do. Be free of the idea that circumstances are against you, that you are weak, that you are hopeless, that there is some sense of impending doom. What happens tomorrow is in nobody's control. But remember, the energy within you is always to be pure. The energy of seeing within you is to be pure. That is the whole spiritual challenge. And that is really the only thing which separates us from the divine. to be able to perceive that in the midst of everything also there is hidden a greater hand, a greater reality, a subtle reality that is pulsating, throbbing with an energy of great wonder, great love, great passion. Else, how could this beautiful existence come about? How come we live in such a wondrous world? Pay attention to the small. Pay attention to the very roots of yourself. The roots are hidden, they are not seen, but they determine the quality of the fruit and flower. And perception is like that. It is the root of ourselves. It is what defines us. It is what transforms us. It is what allows us to enter into the very heart of the message of the Upanishads, the heart of the message of Vedanta itself. Listen to this heart of the message, and then it'll allow you to make things happen as per your own accord, as per the way you want to realize your potential, as per the way you want to bring about fulfillment and success within your life. It is life transforming, it is joyful, it is blissful. So this is the creative way of looking at life. This is the way where you transform the mundane into the sacred, where you look at the entirety of existence with great insight. Now it's all about insight. How do we have insight? Great insight can only be attained by seeing well, by seeing clearly. Why do we say some leaders have insight, or some people have insight, no matter what their pursuits? You can have an insightful poet, you can have an insightful scientist, you can have an insightful businessman, and so on. This whole quality of insight has to do with the watchfulness, the ability of bringing clarity to your watchfulness, the ability to bring clarity to the way you look at the world, what you might call in Hindi, your drishtikon. That is really the very key to insight. It is not about the knowledge you have. No. Knowledge is a dynamic process. It keeps changing. But watching, witnessing is a timeless process. So the Upanishads always talk about the eternal watcher, the eternal witness. That is constant. That belongs to the realm of the timeless, the ageless. And that allows you to see the aesthetic, to see the vast, to see the greater quality of all things, and ultimately to glimpse into higher truth. So remember this. Watch with alertness. See with this eye of wisdom. That brings you into a tune with life. That brings you into a natural joy with life. That allows you to make all your energies come together in an integrated whole and allow you to leave your anxieties behind. This quality of watchfulness, refine it, allow it to go into great depth, allow it to go into great intensity. And then you find that all things can be lit up with great joy, all things can be lit up with a great sense of freedom. You see, life is all about being able to transform our energy from the lower to the higher, from the anxious to the joyful, from worry to hope, from the time-bound to the timeless, from the limited to the unlimited. Eternity is always waiting for us in this very moment. It is simply a question about how we open the doors of our mind to it, the doors of our perception to it. And the doors of our perception are nothing but the way we look at the world. All things reflect our inner state of being. All things depend upon how you look at the world. Your very potential realization depends upon it. And this goes for all activities. You can see it very closely. Some people have an ability to look at even noxious relationships, even noxious and difficult circumstances at work with an eye that is not defeated, an eye that is not tense, an eye that is not anxious. And that allows them to transcend those circumstances and move towards bliss, move towards creativity, move towards courage, and so on.